Persona 4 Golden was the first game I've played from the Persona series, or really even the first JRPG I've ever really fully committed to. And let me just say, they got me. They got me. I'm a Persona fan now. I'm a JRPG fan now. In fact, I became so invested into Persona 4 Golden that I ordered the PS2 version because I needed to have it for my physical collection. So this game actually didn't hook me from the first minute. I learned that these types of games generally need, a little bit of time in the oven. You gotta preheat it a little bit before they start cooking. Now don't get me wrong, after the first 5-10 hours, I was interested. But after 15-20 hours, I was hooked. There was nothing that was gonna take me away from playing this game. I went on vacation and I had a 10-hour flight home and I played the game the entire flight. Nothing prepared me for how connected I would feel to this game. And frankly, it's a feeling that I haven't gotten from a game in a really long time. And it reminded me why I fell in love with gaming in the first place. Now, for those who don't know anything about Persona at all, it's essentially a turn-based JRPG social sim game. It combines dungeon crawling with a heavy emphasis on emotional storytelling through passing time with characters each day. Persona 4 is a remarkably perfect blend of the ordinary and the extraordinary. I found myself wanting to go ride mopeds with Yosuke just as much as I wanted to defeat shadows and stop the killer. And it's this unique balance that really makes your time in Inaba truly unforgettable. A quick synopsis. Yuna Arakami, the protagonist, is a big city kid coming to live in Inaba, a small rural town in Japan. He's staying with his uncle, Dojima, a detective on the police force, and his adorable little cousin, Nanako. We come to find out that there's a rumor going around at Yasogami High School which states that if you look into a black TV screen at midnight on a rainy night, you'd see your soulmate. The protagonist and his friends discover that they have the ability to climb inside the TV to an alternate world. And when a string of murders begin to take place, it's up to our investigative group to use this TV world to get to the bottom of it. This review is going to be pretty brief because I want to keep this basically entirely spoiler free. I don't want to ruin the game for anybody, and I think everyone should experience this without knowing what's going to happen. With that being said, let's start with the cast. Each character has a distinct personality that's relatable and feels human. They're layered and they're imperfect, and it's truly a wonderful experience watching them grow and come to understand their internal struggles while completing their respective social links. It's easy to get the wrong idea about a character until you spend more time with them and discover why they act the way they do and who they truly are. Now, while I did enjoy doing most of my social links, there are some that are a little better than others. So if I had to pick a top 3, I would say Yosuke, Naoto, and Kanji. And without giving too much away, I don't want to get too much into spoiler territory, I thought that they all had a unique story with a great insight onto their character. With Yosuke, you learn about his struggles moving to a small rural town after being a city kid and his coping with that and being the manager's son of Junez, the department store that a lot of the locals don't like. And for Kanji and Naoto, without giving too much away, you learn about some really progressive ideas for a game from 2012 that I enjoyed. You learn about struggles with sexuality and gender identity, and I thought they were fantastic character arcs. Exploring your social links offers you more than just a great story though. You're encouraged to advance your links as much as possible to get better XP bonuses for creating fusions. The higher the social link, the better bonuses you get for a persona fusion. Every persona is associated with a specific arcana, and that arcana directly relates to the social link of a specific character. For example, Rise is part of the Lover's Arcana. So when you advance your social link with Rise, you get a greater bonus for whatever persona you create that fall under the Lover's Arcana. And of course, you just get to absorb a great character arc. Of course though, it's not all just intense and heartfelt moments. This is actually one of the only games that has actually made me laugh. There are plenty of times throughout this playthrough where they add comedic relief. It's usually involving Teddy in some way, because this dude might be a bear, but Teddy is a dog. This dude is a pervert. he is always trying to smash one of the girls, whether it's Chie or Yukiko or Rise. He is always making passes at them, and he's always trying to go on a date. He's trying to crack one of them. He's a little dog. Anyways, there are plenty of great and funny moments between the investigation team. The way they have such great chemistry and they bounce off of each other. It's fun to experience that. The comedy makes the emotional and action-packed moments hit even harder. So when it's time to fight shadows, you really feel that shift in tone. Persona 4 Golden offers one of the most addicting gameplay loops I've experienced in a game. Now, after getting some hours in Persona 5 Royal, I could see why some people might think it's a little outdated, little less modern if you're going from 5 to 4, but if you're starting at 4, this is a fantastic starting point. This is a great combat system. I found the gameplay to be really fun and engaging, and it being my first JRPG, I was worried about having to constantly grind between floors to continue, but honestly, as long as you advance your social links and you're constantly fusing new persona, you really don't have to do much grinding. It's pretty minimal. The game encourages you to consistently be upgrading your persona through fusions. There's 9 total dungeons if you include the postgame, but you have to play your cards right to unlock it. Decision making generally doesn't affect the story in the early game, but towards the end there are multiple bad endings, so you have to be careful which dialogue options you pick. I would recommend having multiple save files, something that I did not do until December, which is the end of the game almost. I would just overwrite my save over and over as time went on, which 1, made getting footage for this a lot harder, and 2, if you make the wrong decision, you're fucked. So, that being said, the game does offer you a warning when the time comes, saying, hey, your decisions are gonna greatly affect what will happen in the end of the game. You should save now. Now, this game is all tied together by the music. I mean, everything. The story, the combat, the characters, the pacing. Persona games in general have some of the best video game music I've ever heard, and this is no exception. I mean, there are some bangers here. The music is what really helps Inaba feel alive. Every track feels matched to the moment. You have iconic tracks here like Heartbeat, Heartbreak, and the intro song. Oh, when that intro song hit as the credits were rolling and I finished the game, I'm not ashamed to admit I had tears running down my cheeks. That game was wonderful. The music just establishes the tone of whatever section you're in so perfectly. And whether you're fighting shadows in the dungeons, or you're studying on a rainy day for your finals, or you're spending time with your friends, the music really makes you want to take a step back and just really soak it all in. I don't really have any more words to say just how impactful the soundtrack feels on the game, but just know that it's so much more than background noise. There's so much more that I could go into talking about this game, but I wanted to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. But, you know, if enough people in the comments want me to talk about things a little further, I could get into some spoilers. All in all, this game, Persona 4 Golden, is a fucking masterpiece. It took me about 70-ish hours to complete, and I wish there was 70 more. You know when you finish a really good TV show or a movie, credits are rolling and that outro music is going and you're just sitting there and you just feel empty and you're like, damn, like it's really over. Like I can't believe it's over. Like I need more of this. This is one of those games that just sticks with you long after it's over. It's easily broken into my top 5 games of all time that I've played personally. And I will most definitely be exploring the rest of the games in the series. I'm about 10 hours into Persona 5 Royal at the time of recording this, so I haven't even scratched the surface, but I can't wait to explore more with that. I've seen a lot of people say that 5 is the best one in the series, but I don't see how it could possibly get much better than this. Like, this game is peak. This game is fantastic. This game has changed the way I feel about JRPGs or really any RPG in general. I used to think that they're kind of a time sink, which, you know, they still are, but they're so worth it. Like this was the best gaming experience that I had in a very long time, and I can't wait to play more of them. Anyhoomst, that's my thoughts on Persona 4 Golden. And I truly think you're doing yourself a disservice by not playing this game. So go play Persona 4 Golden now.